Step back and watch the chef cook.
You want 17 birds? Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Hit my line if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Yeah, I'm from the 17th curb.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we get into it, this just in, man. I just came off my Bleacher Report. It says Brian Robinson shot, Commanders rookie running back, in stable condition after being shot as victim in attempted robbery. Got to be careful out here, man. Glad to see he's okay, man. He looked like he's going to be an up-and-coming star. But yes, sir, let's get it. This is GOAT Talk, man. Episode 2, getting ready for the regular season. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? Preseason is underway. Roster cuts are coming down. You know what I mean? But first, man, I got to let you know, man, Philly Sports Trips. Me and Philly Mike will be out there week 3. Week 3. The Eagles going to take on the Commanders. We're going to go out there, get this W, and we're going to come back home. But the kicker is this. You can go and ride down in a lavish vehicle. A nice coach bus full of Eagles fans. Get you to and from the game, and you'll see an amazing tailgate. Crazy. And you'll get ticket to the game. So go in there and see what package best suits you. PhillySportsTrips.com. Now, listen, we got some gifts, man. We got some gifts from one of our supporters. Shout out to my guy, Dave Duss. You know what I mean? He wanted us to do the unboxing or GOAT Talk. You did you open your box, Mike?
A little bit.
I ain't gonna lie, no cap. You gotta open it when you know you about to get some heat.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it though. Pull my joint out.
This junk fire.
Definitely fire.
And my man dropped me off the. Listen, if I scratch this off and I hit 10K, I got you, Dave does.
Right, yeah, right. If I hit something crazy, we splitting that. I got you, bro. But this crazy though, man. Shout out to the hoodie. I'm gonna open my joint all the way up.
Yeah, me too. I'm over to show the hoodie.
Cause y'all know I was Hoodie Brunson at one point.
Look at that.
Oh, that's the logo on there?
The logo, Brian Dawkins' number on the towel. Gonna have to find a way to hang that up.
Okay.
The shirt go hard too. It says I root for 2 teams, the Eagles and whoever's playing the Cowboys, Commanders, or Giants.
That's fire.
The Talk logo on the back.
Look, I got the new word mark.
Yeah, the hoodie's tough.
I got the new word mark. Oh, okay. This tough, man. Shout out to my guy Dave Dust. I got something else in here too. Oh, this got to get hung up, Mike.
Yeah, you got the BG. You got the BG.
We got to hang this up right here next to the banner. My guy Dave Dust, man, in the clutch, man. Shout out to you, man. Listen, man, Eagles fans are some of the best in the world. The best supporters, the best everything, man. So shout out to everybody, man. Dave Dust been rocking with us very, very hard. Very talented artist, printer, everything. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to make sure that, follow him on Instagram. I think it's at Dave Dust. It's just that simple. You know what I mean? See everything that they could get, man. Shout out to y'all, though, in the chat, man. We 298 strong. Let's get into it, man. I want to start with training camp. How do you feel about training camp as a whole? You know what I mean? It was kind of, I'm going to go second. I might be complaining a little bit. But how you feel about training camp as a whole?
I mean, I think it was good. There were some up and downs for sure. And we saw that the Eagles focus more on training camp than preseason. Some people believe that's the right thing to do. Some people think it's the wrong thing to do. We're going to find out week 1 how ready we are against the Lions. It was tough to know that Tua and the Dolphins are kind of in the same situation, right? Tua got to prove it this year. They gave him weapons. They let him and the weapons go play in preseason. I'm guessing the Eagles seen enough or just extra cautious. We didn't allow no starters to go out there. I don't know. Me personally, I would have played them, but I understand the reason not to play him, because if somebody would have got hurt, we all would be screaming, why did we play him, blah, blah, blah. But, the training camp has been favoring the Eagles in the joint practices, minus maybe the one Miami Dolphins practice. There was some different reporting. We didn't have the best day, but I still think overall, all training camp days, the Eagles stock should be going up.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree that, training camp itself was successful. I think we were a little too cautious. And I was kind of mad not seeing the team out there on that final preseason game. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He was out there. You know what I mean? I mean, what are we doing? Like, who are we trying to protect? Who are we trying to hide? I don't understand it. Listen, man, you got to go out there and you got to start hitting at some point. And for a team that notoriously starts slow, I would hate to see us coming out here being sluggish against a team that we're supposed to beat week one. I don't want that because that's just going to negatively impact everything we got going on. We need to go out there and assert dominance from week one, and I think we got the team to do that. I've been pleased with a number of players. You know what I mean? This off season, Kaiser White, man, you know what I mean, has shown his value, looking like a guy that can very well in the soon future, you know what I mean, get extended. TJ Edwards, you know, the more you bring competition around TJ Edwards, he rises to meet at least that level of play. It brings his play up. And we got some rookies, you know, Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis. We're looking at them closely in their development. But Cam Jurgens, man, is a stud. You know what I mean? That's a stud. That's a different animal. Like, how do you feel? So obviously you feel safe with Cam Jurgens.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even got to talk about it.
Nah, I mean, like, you can't go from Kelsey to going from Kelsey, and shout out to the Philly pod. He's the one who said this. I saw it, a quote, but it's kind of like how you had Favre and you passed it to Aaron Rodgers and it was no drip, no drop and quarterback play. It might have got better. I'm thinking that could be our situation with Kelsey. Kelsey handing the torch over to Cam Jurgens after. The whole thing about Kelsey is he's the little big dog. Well, Jurgens is looking quite the same with athleticism, and he's bigger. He's 303 pounds. So I can't wait to see his potential.
Yeah, I agree. So far, if you want me to be honest, I think he's the best player we drafted this year. So far, based upon what I've seen, you know what I mean? And that's no knock on Jordan Davis or anybody else. I just feel like Cam Jurgens already looked like a Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? He already looks like a Pro Bowl center, and that's good for us, man. We had some division rivals, you know, take some hits in the injury department. We had the Dallas Cowboys, you know, they lose a left tackle. You know what I mean? Were you on board this week at all with the, you know, trading one of our left tackles to help the Dallas Cowboys out?
Never. Like, I understand people were saying, but what if we can fleece him for a first or a second or blah, blah, blah. Maybe that can happen, right? And maybe you think about it. But I don't think Dillard is as bad as people say. I think it's been a somewhat Rager situation where once he went to the right side, he lost his mojo, lost his confidence. You know, everything was given to him. When he was in college, first round draft pick, ain't nobody can tell me nothing. Then he gets punched in the mouth by going in the right side and this, that, and the third, and he never can get his spot back. I think if we don't have Mulata, we see Dillard take that left tackle spot and be pretty good at it. And so I do not want to see the Dallas Cowboys get him, and he ends up being their left tackle for 8 years. You know, a draft pick is not going to be worth, you know, helping them out for the long term. I'm not saying Dillard will be the greatest left tackle, but I think coming in camp this year, his head is right. He looks the part, and he's had a really good training camp. He's just not going to beat Jordan Mailata out, who I believe is a top 5-ish guy at the left tackle position. So trading him is smart because he's going to walk next year. You do get a comp pick if he walks because we didn't what do you call it? Take his fifth-year option.
Yeah, fifth-year option. Yeah,
we declined it. So we get a comp pick. If we could trade him to Buccaneers are hurting. The Browns are hurting. There's going to be other people who lose left tackles or an offensive line. I just don't think giving it to Dallas is on my list of things to do.
No, I agree. I was never on board with even trading him in the first place. I feel like this is a perfect year to keep him around. You know what I mean? You got some leverage there with his contract situation and his position being of need. You know what I mean? Every pocket passing quarterback needs that blind side protected. And, you know, he just ain't play a lot. He don't got a lot of tread on his tires. You know what I mean? So he was a guy, you know, that I thought he had a great camp too. Like, it wasn't like the best outstanding, but you ain't hear nothing bad about him. Like this camp made me appreciate guys where you don't hear their name. You know what I mean? You really don't hear it. You know, if you're not hearing his name, then he ain't doing nothing bad. But at the same time, there's some guys where you don't hear their name and you tired of it because you've never heard their name. You know, and you were a high draft pick. Like, you know, I hate to sound like I'm so just down on Kayvon Wallace, but like some guys just are not developing. And you know what I mean? They're holding up a valuable roster spot because you never know what can happen. Like where are you at with the guys, you know, showing, you know, slow development? Do you think it's time for guys like Davion Teller and Kayvon Wallace to probably go packing?
Well, it definitely is getting there. Kayvon Wallace looks bigger, so it looked like he put in some type of work this offseason, but I don't see him making plays. I see Josiah Scott for some reason. And Andre Chachere playing the safety position, making better plays than Kevon Wallace. Heck, Reed Blankenship. You saw that hit. There was only a couple positive things last night to take, but my man Reed Blankenship put the hit stick in a half on whoever it was from the Miami Dolphins. And so you're starting to see these guys who are coming out undrafted guys, and they're putting in more work than Kevon Wallace. Davion Taylor's a little different because I seen flashes in the season last year, but it's his health. But he did look a little lost this preseason so far.
Mhm.
So, it's tough. We drafted Davion Taylor all on potential and athleticism because he was always a couple steps behind because of his religion and whatnot. Kevon Wallace was a guy who was sturdy. His body work was sturdy, and it hasn't translated in the NFL so far. So it's getting around that time where, like, Reed Blankenship, if he comes in and makes a couple good hits, are you gonna cut him just because you drafted Kevon? I think it comes to the point where your draft status should only get you so far in the beginning of your career. You're going on 3-4 years, the draft status should be thrown out the door.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly because, you are who you are. You know what I mean? College is different than the National Football League. Kayvon Wallace, he's had opportunities. So it's not like a guy that we say, well, we never gave him a chance to play. He's had some times to play. You know what I mean? By this time, he should definitely be far along. But, it is what it is. I think he might still make the roster. If it's me, it'll be a long shot. But we got a lot of guys like that on this roster. You know what I mean? That, Sean Bradley, I know maybe he's a special teams ace. You know what I mean? I just feel like this year, even the third guy at his position should be of some value if he has to step on the field. We don't have that in a lot of positions. You know what I mean? That's true depth. I mean, we got that at linebacker now, but at safety, we really don't know. You know what I mean? I'm keeping Blankenship over Kayvon Wallace. You know what I mean? Blankenship at least can make a hard hit. I'm keeping Jaquiski Tartt. At least. Kayvon Wallace is too often a step behind. It's probably a no for me, man. But, we got a whole roster, to break down in terms of that, man. Let's talk about the running back position real quick. This been bothering me, bro. This really been bothering me, man. Miles Sanders already showing signs of lingering, nagging injuries, and we ain't even get to week 1 yet. I mean, where are you at in your mind about trading Miles Sanders or keeping Miles Sanders?
Again, he's just in that really sticky situation because of being the last year of his contract too. I think if the Eagles want to benefit and not let him walk away for free, a trade in the middle of the season could come to, help him out, get a contract, and help the Eagles get compensation. My thing is this. I was upset with the whole hamstring lingering, but I'm starting to chalk it up to he's not injured anymore. It's just how the Eagles are going about this whole offseason, training camp, and preseason. Look how long they kept Devontae Smith out. Now he came back, and it does suck that one play or one drive was enough to get Miles Sanders not to practice for 2 to 3 weeks. But the way we're not playing guys in preseason, the way we've been holding people out for all these crazy pop-up concussions, I think that they're just being safe with Miles. But I just don't see a good scenario where he ends up being a future running back for the Eagles just because of the situation. It went too far. You don't really sign running backs long-term and or pay them. The Eagles definitely don't. And then, he's got to be healthy. That's it. So I just don't know. I like him. 5 yards of carry for 3 years in a row is too hard. But that's why, look, I'm stuttering. I'm stuck because the Miles Sanders topic is so – I see both sides really clear. The people who say that he should be here next year and the people who say he shouldn't, just because it hasn't translated. That rookie season made me think we have a really good impact player, and it just went a little worse, a little worse, a little worse.
Yeah, for me, I'm comfortable with him going because I feel like Kenneth Gainwell might be better. Kenneth Gainwell has shown me, and Kenneth Gainwell is really on his heels, bro. If you really think about it, man, like the stat that you told me about Kenneth Gainwell and first downs, I start looking at him different. And every time I looked at him, he was getting the first down, bro. I'm like, this shit is crazy. Like, he literally is keeping these drives alive, whether it's catching the ball or running the ball, and he's great in those short yardage situations. So, Miles Sanders wasn't so great in those short yardage situations, but Miles Sanders is a hell of a running back. So it is a sticky situation. It is one of those ones to where you got to really make the right move because this could bite you, man. This could bite you. If Miles goes somewhere and they make him the bell cow and he start cooking, this really could bite you. You know what I mean? It's all about how you how you see it. So, your guy, man, Jalen Rager.
My
Jalen
God.
Rager. Your guy, Jalen Rager, man. You know what? I ain't been hearing nothing about him lately.
Yeah, but
Lately.
as a wide receiver, you want to hear about them. They're the people that you want to hear
Okay,
about,
all
right?
right, that makes sense. That makes sense. No, that makes sense. But yeah, he can't afford to be low key. You're right. He really can't afford to be low key. So listen. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about who we think is going to be on this roster. We're gonna start from the center position. I'll read the centers off. First we got Kelsey. We already know what that is. Kelsey's going to be on this roster. Cameron Tom. I've never even heard of him.
He was getting beat up yesterday against the Dolphins. That's what I that's the first time I heard him. I'm like, who got a last name Tom?
Right. He ain't gonna be on the roster.
Nah.
Jack Anderson. I heard it was looking shaky for Jack Anderson.
Yeah, he's a guy who has shown potential. I just don't know what they're gonna do with that center / guard position because he can play both. The Eagles will keep double digits to me, double digits offensive lineman. I just don't know if he's going to make it. I think when it comes to center, you're really going to just rock with Kelsey and Cam Jurgens. They're going to be the two centers on the depth chart, I believe, on the roster.
Yeah, but I think it's good to have a lot of these guys that can play multiple positions on the line. So he might make it because he can do both. You know what I mean? He serves two purposes if a guard or a center goes down. Cam Jurgens, we know he's making it. Now we're in the cornerbacks. You want to read the cornerbacks?
Yeah, we could do quarterbacks real quick. Let's get it. So Josh Blackwell, James Bradbury, Mario Goodrich, Tay Gowan, Josh Jobe, Avonte Maddox, Mac McCain, Zach McPherson, Josiah Scott, Darius Slay, Kerry Vincent Jr. These are the cornerbacks on the roster. Do you have how many cornerbacks you think we're gonna keep? Cornerbacks.
6. I think we're gonna keep 6.
6?
Yeah,
all right, so who's your 6?
My 6, Darius Slay, Zach McPherson, Avonte Maddox, James Bradbury.
It's 4.
Josh Jobe, and Josiah Scott. Be 6.
I'll co-sign that. I agree. I think
right, yeah.
If we keep 6, I think you got the guys like Kerry Vincent Jr., Mac McCain, even a guy like Tay Gowan and Mario Goodrich. They're looking to be out. There could be a scenario where we keep 7, just because of the versatility of a guy like Josiah Scott, who's been playing a little bit at the safety position. So they could look at him as maybe as a depth piece for the safety, and then maybe you get someone like Tay Gowan who slips in. He was on the roster last year. He has had an okay preseason. I mean, Kerry Vincent Jr., I don't know how he makes it. He's been getting beat up left and right. Bruh. I feel bad for that guy. Every single time I see a completion yesterday, I'm like, there he is, Kerry Vincent Jr.
Out of position.
Out of position.
But yeah, he might make the practice squad, though. You never know. They seem to like him. They gave him a lot of playing time. So for defensive ends, we got Derek Barnett, Brandon Graham, Tyron Jackson, Matt Leo, Josh Sweat.
Here we go.
I hate this one, man. I hate this one because it's so tricky. Because Hargrave is going to play some end too, probably more than he plays in the linebacker position.
Yeah, I see the Eagles keeping everybody on that list besides Matt Leo. I see Tyron Jackson making the roster. Yeah. He's been low key coming up, playing some good snaps last year. I think he's grown as a player a little bit. So I see Matt Leo being the guy who bites the dust. So I got them keeping 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive ends.
I can co-sign that. I ain't mad at that. I mean, really, it's logical. Like that was
Philly 500 would have cut Barnett.
You think so? Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to Lazarus real quick for the $4.99. Yeah. He said ALB. I can't super chat you. I think one of your mods got me banned. I don't know, man. I don't know what you did. I'm gonna get it fixed though. He said, "Get it fixed, big dog." And Detroit will not be easy as we think it will be. I agree. I can get with that. I get to the rest of them supers real quick. Who's on defensive tackle? That's you?
Yeah, I'll do defensive tackle. You want to pull up the other super chats? I think there's 2 more. Defensive tackles, we got Fletcher Cox, of course, Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave, Kobe Smith, Marlon Tupalupalopa. I can never say his name. Milton Williams, Marvin Wilson, Renell Wren, They are the D tackles. You want to say who you keeping? Who you think?
Renell Wren is out of there. Renell Wren is out of there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Marvin Wilson is out of there. Milton Williams is staying. Marlon Tupelotu might be out of there.
He's low key had a strong camp. A strong camp. I think they keep him. I think they're going to keep about 5 D tackles. I think 4 or 5. I would think they would keep.
I think they're going to keep 5.
So you got Fletch, Davis, Hargraves, Williams, right? That's 4. You don't think they'll keep Marlon? I think Kobe Smith.
No, I think they're going to keep
because
I think they'll keep Marlon.
Yeah, I think Kobe Smith, Wren, and
but what about
Marvin
Milton
Wilson?
If it's coming between Milton and like if I said 5, then that leaves either Milton out or Marlon.
Well, no, Fletch, Davis, Hargrave, that's 3, and then Williams being 4, and then Marlon being 5.
Okay.
Right now we have 8. I think Kobe Smith, Marvin Wilson, and Renell Wren. I think they're gonna bite the dust.
Yeah. Okay, I can get with that. I agree. So guards, we got Landon Dickerson, Sua Opeta, Isaac Seumalo, Josh Stills, Keyodu Asiko. No, yeah, he's guard tackle. Yeah. This light, this one easy.
Yeah, I think they keep. I think they're going to keep 3 guards. So I would have, of course, Dickerson, Seumalo. No, not 3 guards because this is left and right. So I think they'll keep about.
They keep about 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
You don't think so?
Especially if do we keep Jack Anderson, who's guard / center? It's like right there. That's one of the guys right there that I think will fight with Sua Opeta. I think Landon Dickerson and Isaac Seumalo are locks. I think that last spot, that third guard spot will be have to fight against.
I think Sua Opeta gets that 3rd spot
over Jack Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that too. I think Sua Opeta. They could keep 4. I think. See, I've always thought, well, not always thought, but I think they're going to keep 11 or 12 offensive linemen. That's including center, guard, and tackle. True. So I would have about 11 of them. And so when you got a guy like Jack Anderson who plays both sides, who knows where they actually mark them? But I agree with you. I think if it's 3, they're going to keep Sua Opeta. He's been a guy who's low key go from practice squad back to the roster, practice squad back to the roster. The Eagles are pretty high on him.
No, yeah. He seems to get a lot of opportunity, and he works hard. When I see him, I don't really see him getting like destroyed. Kicker, we know that's Jake Elliott. Linebackers. Yep.
Oh, your favorite. You want to knock out these super chats real quick while I read it?
Yeah, go ahead. Shout out my guy Dave. There's Dave. That's right here, man. Make sure y'all give my guy Dave, man. Dave, shout out to Dave for getting us with the hoodies, man. He said running late, my fault. The excitement made y'all open them up. Yeah, bro. I had to open mine, bro. I had to peek in there. Man. I had to peek in there. I can't wait for it to get cool. It's hoodie season, man. Yeah, but get with my guy Dave Dust, man, for all your needs, man, in that area. Let me see. It was another joint up here somewhere. Rigo L, shout out for the $9.99. Shout out to the GOATs. Love what y'all doing, man. Keep it up. You already know, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. I think that was that's it.
That might have been all. All right, so linebackers. We got Sean Bradley. Can't cut him. He's in your intro. Nakobe Dean, TJ Edwards, Christian Ellis, Kyron Johnson, Patrick Johnson, Hassan Reddick, Jacoby Stevenson, Davion Taylor, Kaiser White. So how many linebackers we keeping? I don't know why I couldn't read their names.
How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the roster right now.
Sheesh.
6.
I can go with that.
Yeah, you got to keep 6 because some of them are majority be special teams guys. That's why I say it's tricky with Hassan Reddick. You know what I mean? Because Hassan Reddick kind of occupies that edge spot and then linebacker spot at times. So I'm keeping 6. So out of the 6 we got on the list, shit. I'm going to Kobe Dean, TJ Edwards. That's 2. Hassan Reddick, 3. Kazir White, 4. Then you got to go Davion Teller at 5. You know what? And Kyron Johnson. I'm keeping Kyron Johnson.
Yeah, so we'll make it 7 because I think Sean Bradley gets on here. I think the way he plays special teams, the way he screams in your intro, I think
right.
Sean, but they ain't gonna do him dirty. They ain't gonna do him dirty. So we'll go 7 linebackers. You know,
Okay.
7 for sure, especially because of how Reddick is, right? He's going to be occupying the edge / dropping back a little bit. So they can look at the other linebackers as, you know, traditional linebackers. So I think because we have a Reddick, they can keep 7 because they can, you know, account him for / defensive end / linebacker. So Sean Bradley, you made the cut. You're going to continue to scream in LB's intro.
Facts.
All right, so what we got next?
Long snapper, we know that's Rick Lovato. Punter, we know that's Arian Sipos. Quarterback,
4 of them. How many we keep? How many's going to be on the roster?
On a roster, for real, probably 2. For real.
Yeah. Nick Sirianni was just talking about that. He said he's still not sure if he's going to keep 2 or 3 active for game day. I think it's going to come down to only keeping 2 because of how, you know, talented this roster is. I think you're going to want to get double digits when it comes to offensive line. We're going to carry about 6 or 7 linebackers. I think when it comes to wide receiver, 5 or 6 is where you're going to be there. Cornerbacks, you're going to be about 6 deep. So with trying to get the extra position, I think they're only going to hold 2 quarterbacks, and we know who the 2 quarterbacks are going to be then.
Yeah, that's going to be easy. That's Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I think Reed signing is buns. I don't know what. I think he's buns. I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. He's buns. I don't know what they don't want the world to see Carson Strong. I feel like we stashing him. I feel like we trying to groom him in the background, like how Bill Belichick used to do quarterbacks. Like you know what I mean? Like, didn't that happen to Garoppolo? Who was it? Bill Belichick groomed somebody. I don't think it was Garoppolo, but somebody else. Somebody gonna put it in the chat. And then he just popped up out of nowhere. Nobody never heard of him.
Brissett was one of them guys too.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys he just be having in the shadows. I feel like we do that with Carson Strong because we even let the guy throw the ball. Maybe a practice squad.
Yeah, they definitely did him dirty. Like I just don't understand why you wouldn't allow this young man to have some snaps in preseason. That baffled me.
It makes no sense. That's what makes me feel like they're trying to stash him. He could get cut. You never know. He really probably could even be cut. But I just don't see that happening with how Howie Roseman likes to, you know, take quarterbacks on dates.
They're saying Matt Castle in the chat. Yeah.
It was Matt Castle. Yeah.
Yeah, he low key came out when Brady got injured. Then won 10 games, got a nice contract with the Chiefs, and was butt.
Mm-hmm.
Was garbage.
Right. But you know they stashed him. Like Bill Pryor was like, I know he but I'm gonna put him in at the right time. Lightning gonna strike. He gonna get like 7 to 7 game win streak, and somebody gonna pay him. Everybody wins.
Yes.
Running backs. Kennedy Brooks, Kenneth Gainwell, Jason Huntley, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott.
I think they keep 4 running backs. I think they'll have 4 running backs on the roster. There could be a running back that's not even on the team right now that might make it, but right now with this roster, I think they keep 4. Do you think 4 or 3?
I only see 3 that could play. for real. I only see 3 that could tote the rock. But if they do keep 4, I think they'll end up keeping 4. I think they'll stash Kennedy Brooks if they keep 4.
Yeah, as of now, I'm a co-sign. I think they're going to keep 3, and it's the 3 that I know you're going to go to. The 3 that's been on the Eagles, you know, for a while. Besides Kenny G, who's only been here. This is his 2nd year. So of course it's Sanders, Gainwell, and Boston Scott. I do think if they go 4. They might look elsewhere. I don't think Jason Huntley's going to make it. He's a guy that we keep giving opportunities to, right? Last year, we got him from the Lions. He made the roster, and he got put on special on a practice squad and back to the roster. So they're trying to give Jason Huntley as many opportunities as possible, but he just seems to not be able to get it. He had a nice 50-yard scamper against the Miami Dolphins, but I don't think it's going to be enough to secure a roster spot. And Kennedy Brooks is a guy that a lot of people are interested in, undrafted rookie free agent, but you know they haven't showed it much love to him. So right now I think 3. I think throughout the season, especially when you got Miles Sanders as your lead back and Boston Scott being he's little but big at the same time, I think that you would want bodies there, because if Miles goes down, now you're talking about 2 running backs on the roster. And running back's a tough position. You have a injury or 2. Now you got 1 guy left. So I think they want to get 4, but right now they only can really verify 3. That's my take.
Kennedy Brooks is 5'11", 213 pounds. Why have we not seen this dude run the ball?
He ran hard at the end of the game last night too.
You know what I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I would have liked to see more opportunities though, other than what we saw last night, because I think he's physical, and I think behind our first string offensive line, I think he'll be very, very valuable right there. But
so let me ask you this: if we went 4, if we did go 4, right now me and you are gonna agree to say three running backs. If we went 4, you would definitely take Brooks over Huntley, right?
I would take Kennedy Brooks over Huntley. You know what I mean? I've seen enough of Huntley to gamble on Kennedy Brooks and say he can do better than that. You know what I mean? Huntley's had a lot of chances, and he's only been like right there. You know what I mean? He's never did nothing really explosive. He ain't never take nothing to the house. He ain't never juke nobody, nothing crazy. He's just a running back. You know what I mean? I feel like respectfully, I feel like Kennedy Brooks might be a little more than that, and that's not hard to do. So I'd rather take that chance on Kennedy Brooks. Safety, Reed Blankenship. I like Reed Blankenship. I ain't gonna lie. Andre Casheray, Marcus Epps, Anthony Harris, Jaquiski Tart, Kayvon Wallace.
Here we go. Right. Safety, I think they're going to keep, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 safeties. A lot of the safety, the reason they keep depth at the safety and linebacker position, because they like to use them on special teams, like gunners and guys who can go, secure the tackle. I think safety, I want to say they're going to keep 4. I would say 4.
4 is fair.
4. So with that being said, Marcus Epps, Anthony Harris, Jaquiski Tart. And then it's like me, right now I got that big hit stick in my head from Reed Blankenship. But I think they're going to give it to Kayvon Wallace. There could be a scenario where they keep 5 just because special teams. And that's where I think maybe Reed Blankenship can sneak onto the roster. Andre Chachere, it's interesting because he can play nickel and safety. So
wow.
He could play some nickel. And they've been using Josiah Scott in that same area where he plays nickel a little bit and he plays safety. And Josiah Scott looks to be the first up if Avonte Maddox goes down for that slot/safety spot, or just to play the nickel position. That being said, maybe 5. You do think they keep? What do you think? 4 or 5?
I think they keep 4, and I switch out Kayvon Wallace for Andre Chachere.
Andre Chachere.
I think he should make it over Kayvon Wallace if we being 100% honest. I mean, like you said, if he could play 2 positions, you know what I mean, he should make it. I mean, Kayvon Wallace, I hate to do this, man. Buddy is, come on, we know, man. We all know. Yeah, he ain't ready, man. He ain't ready. I think the Brian Dawkins comparison make us more angry. I think that makes us more angry. We should have never set him up like that. You know what I mean? He didn't even meet the shoelace of those expectations. So it is what it is, man. I'm going with Andre Casheray because the same thing with Huntley. I've seen this story with Kayvon Wallace for 3 years now. Mediocrity. We're trying to win a Super Bowl.
No, but there's one thing we should have did. We should have kept a tally to write down what like the count, because we don't want to go over 53 as well. We gotta do that as well.
Oh damn, yeah. We probably way under 53.
We're definitely so far, but go ahead and do the
tackles,
and I'm gonna see if I can get a calculation. You read the tackles off real quick.
LaRaven Clark, Andre Dillard, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Jack Driscoll. Yep, that's it.
All right. I'll go first, I guess. I think tackle wise, they're gonna have probably, I said they keep 3 or 4 guards. So we got 2 centers, right? 3 or 4 guards. That makes, we'll say 4 guards, that's 6. Then I'm gonna say they're gonna keep 4 tackles, that's 10. So really though, I think they might keep another guard, because I see the Eagles having 10 to 11 offensive linemen. And if we go 4 tackles, that puts us at 10. So then we can slide someone else in. And then we'll get a tally at the end of how much are we over 53, who we got to kick off and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Dillard, Johnson, Mulata, and Driscoll. I think that's who we keep. LaRaven Clark is a guy that we keep bouncing on the practice squad, off the practice squad. But I think that's where we go, just them 4. And again, Andre Dillard will be here, and a possible trade could come if it benefits us throughout the season. I don't see Andre Dillard leaving anytime soon. I see him being on the roster week 1, and we're going to use him in case of emergency, and or we'll be shopping him throughout the season before the trade deadline.
I can agree with you 4. I think Jack Driscoll because Jack Driscoll is actually serviceable, and him being the dual position guy, tackle guard, I think that helps his case a lot as well, because that trims the number of how many you actually have to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles are really good at getting guys that can play these dual positions. Shout out Philly for life. He said, "Don't think Blankenship is much, y'all. Neither is Kayvon, though. I just want to see my guy Epps ball this year. Sleeper, Gainwell, Epps, Kaiser, BG. Those are some great sleeper picks. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat, bro.
I agree. All of them are going to have eye-popping seasons. And then BG's like, people are probably thinking, why is he throwing BG in there? He's the old dog in here. But because people are thinking he's old, he's coming off the Achilles, he's not going to be good. I can see him going right back and getting 9 to 10 sacks again, having one of his better years. He looks explosive. There you go.
Just that BG right here. Stop it. Yo, BG is one of my favorite Eagles players of all time, man. BG with the memorable strip sack, just iconic, man. Tight ends is on you, Mike.
Tight ends. So now we got Grant Calcaterra, Dallas Goedert, Richard Rodgers, Jack Stahl, and Noah Togagi. I don't know how to say his name. I think the Eagles keep 3 tight ends. I think we'll keep 3. And I'm going to go, of course, Dallas Goedert. I want to say Jack Stahl's number 2. And Noah, according to our guy Clay Harbor, he's been fighting. He's been trying to stay on this roster.
I think this is the most competitive group out of all training camp. I think it's the tight end position. I think it was the most competitive group.
Yeah, and Richard Rodgers is one of them guys that the Eagles pretty much have on call. So like, if he's off, if we don't sign him, I don't think anybody else is. So if we get into a sticky situation, we're like, hey, what's up, Rich? You try and come back for the rest of the season. So I think to start the roster week 1 is going to be Goddard, Stahl, and I'm sorry, Noah. Clay's going to be mad at me, but I'm going Grant Calcaterra, the playmaker. So
it got to be Grant Calcaterra, man. He's been making some plays, man. And at 6'4", 240, man, he can really run. He can really, really run. I think I feel like we're going to keep 4 tight ends. I don't know why I feel like we're going to keep 4 tight ends, but I feel like 3 might be perfect. 3 might.
If we did keep 4, though, who would it be? Rodgers or Noah?
I think it'll end up being Rodgers, man. Rodgers is he's like Haslam for the Heat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He in the game, but he's not really in the game. He's probably like a real factor in there, though. Like some locker room presence. Like it got to be something why he's always hanging around the roster. If it's 4, I'm gonna go Richard Rodgers, but I agree with your 3. I agree with your 3. And Noah Ty guy, man, he been cooking too, man. That's tough, man. He been balling.
Here's the big one, wide receiver, which right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wide receivers on the roster. How many do you think they keep before I read all their names? How many? What number?
That's so hard, bro. That's so hard. Wait, so this is every roster, every wide receiver. I think they're going to keep 5 wide receivers.
5. See, I
on the active roster, I think they're gonna keep 5.
All right, that's gonna even make it tougher because I was gonna say 6. I was gonna say we have to cut 4 of them. Now you're saying we got to cut 5, but here it goes. It's AJ Brown. Let's start at the top. Devin Allen, AJ Brown, Deion Kane, Britton Covey, John Hightower, Zach Pascal, Jalen Reagor, Devontae Smith, Greg Ward Jr., and Quez Watkins. You got us cutting 5 of them. Go ahead, you go.
That's so fucking tough, bro. Because it's really like, okay. So the only person that I can really for sure say on this list is a bum. For sure is a bum. Is Jalen Reagor, and that's crazy, bro.
And he's gonna make the roster.
Did you see what I'm saying? That's crazy because everybody else, Greg Ward has shown us moments, bro. He was our best wide receiver. We made the playoffs in 2019. Smitty is Smitty. Quez Watkins is Quez Watkins. Zach Pascal.
Yeah.
All right. So the first guy, five got to go from me.
Yeah, that's you.
Some of these guys making the practice squad though.
Yeah, but that's still not the roster. You don't get that same paycheck, bro.
All right. I'm gonna cut five. I'm gonna cut five.
All right, here we go. Let's hear it.
John Hightower got to go.
Sorry.
Now, are we being realistic, or am I saying if this is me?
If I know you're cutting regular if it's you, but this is what we call a prediction. So we are predicting.
All right.
It's tough.
I just can't bring my mouth to say, buddy, gonna make it. But Hightower, all right, Hightower's out of here.
All right,
that's one. Britton Covey is out of here. Britton Covey, you know, I don't know about that though for sure because he's like the most competent punt returner on the team right now. You know what I mean? But Britton Covey is out of here. Hightower's out of here. Devin Allen might got to be out of here then. And Greg Ward. Sorry, Greg Ward. That's tough. Greg Ward, he's going to be gone.
So you said Hightower gone.
Hightower gone.
Allen gone. Ward gone. You still got to cut one more.
Hightower, Covey, Allen, Ward, Rager.
So you're keeping Deion Kane, right? They're keeping Deion Kane?
Yeah, hell yeah. I think you got to keep Deion Kane.
Well, see,
so no, that's it. I can't cut one more. I think you got to keep that amount then. I gotta keep your amount.
Yeah, I think it's where it's 6, and I agree with yours. Hightower's going off. I think they're gonna let go of Covey. I think they're gonna let go of Devin Allen. I think it's gonna be, of course, AJ, Devontae, Pascal, Quez Watkins, and then I think Jalen Reagor makes it because it's Jalen Reagor. And I think if anybody showed they should make the roster, even Deion Kane maybe slips up over Greg Ward. And that's only if we keep 6. So Greg Ward, he's been old faithful. John Hightower, Covey, and Allen, they might be the ones that get cut.
That's total BS. I mean, it's kind of BS, man, because you know Jalen Reagor's draft position is why Greg Ward is reliable. He's surprised, he's reliable. You need a wide receiver right there that's reliable, that know the playbook. If he ain't explosive, at least he know where to be. You know what I mean? He know where to be on the field. That's useful. Jalen Reagor is taking up a roster spot from a reliable person. Greg Ward is more useful to the roster than Jalen Reagor is to me right now, man. But that's the way football goes. That's how it shake out. They got to give him his year. Because, look, this is the thing. If Jalen Reagor come out and cook, it ain't impossible. If he come out and just cook, I mean, he just doing wild stuff, all these top 10 plays, then, we ain't got to even sign him. We got a 5th-year option on him. So we could keep him around for one more year to get a better look at him and see if that's, if he's going to keep doing that. But I think he is who he is, in my opinion.
All right. So now to recap real quick. So let's start. Let's go back and not go back and do all the names. Offensive linemen, we said they're going to keep about 11, right? Because we said 11 offensive linemen right there. That's 11.
Right.
We said 6 wide receivers. That's plus 6. That's 17. We said running backs, they're going to keep 3 right now. So plus 3, that's 20. We said cornerbacks, they're going to keep about 6, I thought, right? We said?
I don't know. I don't remember.
So corners were 6. That's 26.
26.
Tight ends, we said 3. Let me stay on the offense side real quick.
That's 29.
That's 29. We said offensive line, tight end, wide receiver. Quarterbacks, 2. That's 2. That's 31. And now we did cornerbacks already. Linebackers, we said what? 6, 7?
Yeah.
I think
6 or 7. Yeah.
So I'm going to do 7. It's 38. Defensive ends, we said 4. That's 42. D tackles, we said 4. That's 46. Safeties, we said 4.
This shit filling up.
That's 50. And then
that's the punter, the long snapper.
Got him. We did our 53.
We had 53 on the head. First try.
On the head. Yep. Because then you got the punter, the long snapper, and
who else? Right.
The kicker.
Oh, the kicker. Okay, the kicker. Yeah.
There's your 3. There's your 3.
That's crazy. So
the thing is, we were just going into names, and people in the chat were like, "Yo, you're not even gonna know if you're over 53 or not. What are y'all doing?" And now we just banged it out.
Listen. if it makes sense, it's going to equal 53. You know what I mean? If they're supposed to be there, they're supposed to be there. Minus some onesies and twosies. You know what I mean? Just due to politics, like Rager's going to make the roster. You know, minus those things we can't get away with. I think we're pretty accurate.
Uh-huh.
I definitely think we're pretty accurate, man.
And then, like you said, you try to keep guys like, if you can stash a Devin Allen, if you can stash a Covey, you can stash one of these guys like Reed Blankenship.
Mm-hmm.
You stash them and try to get them on the practice squad and throwing some money.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're so deep. You know what? Listen, based upon the math that we did, is it really worth it even showing Carson Strong? If we just did that math right here, is it really worth showing what Carson Strong could do? Why not stash him? If you got to go by talent and useful players, you know what I mean? Their 53 should match our 53. That leaves Carson Strong off of it. So put him on a practice squad. Do he has to clear waivers?
Yeah, he would have to clear waivers. Anybody who we cut, once they clear waivers, then you can put them on a practice squad. But see, this is where it gets tough, right? Because we picked 53 players on this roster. That's all we can do. When we predict, we can only predict with what we have. Now, why I'm saying this is because every team in the National Football Team has to go from 80 to 53 by August 30th. That means the Patriots, that means the Chiefs, that means the Saints, the Packers. Now, we are say we're keeping this player at this position because he's the fifth best on our roster. But what if the fifth best on the Packers roster or the Chiefs roster or the Ravens roster is better than our fifth? So there could be extra guys that get cut because we are going to sign XYZ off other people's rosters. You see what I'm saying? Because think about it. Every team is cutting 30 players. That's 30 times 30. That's hundreds of players out there that we can say, okay, is our fifth safety, is our fourth string safety, is Andre Chachere better than the fourth string safety for the Chiefs that they just let go? Maybe the Chiefs are deep us there. And so, but we can't predict that yet because they're not on our roster yet. So.
Right. Perfect example. So when everybody gets cut, if Carson Strong gets cut, he's not going to be the best quarterback that got cut probably.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a quarterback better than Carson Strong that you might just, hey, I'm going to leave Carson Strong out there and I'm going to grab this guy off waivers. So the practice squad and the active roster can look very, very different. You know what I mean? It's almost crazy to predict how it's going to look because like you said, 30 teams cutting 30 players. It's a lot of people out there, man. A lot of useful people, man. Maybe we'll find our big body back that everybody wants. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll find a safety.
Mm-hmm. And check this out, because like let's look at one of our deep positions now. And it's weird to say it, but we are deep at the wide receiver position. So just say we cut Devin Allen, say even Deion Kane gets cut. We didn't cut him, but say he gets cut. Well, now shoot the Dallas Cowboys. They need a wide receiver, right? Our fifth string wide receiver or our sixth best wide receiver might be better than their third best wide receiver. So they're like, oh, they cut Deion Kane, we go and grab him. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. The spots that we feel iffy about, hopefully there's a team out there that is really, really deep at safety or really, really deep at running back, and they let go somebody who can fall in our laps and be that, extra piece, the depth piece.
I agree. Devin Allen is the only one that really I can say like that concerns me because Devin Allen is 27. I don't want a 27-year-old dude on my practice squad. You know what I mean? Like if we're that deep, like Devin, he's useful. The way he can stretch the field, is you can find a use for him. You know what I mean? We're that deep. We got to cut away guys that can, stretch the field like that. You know what I mean? So it's a good problem to have. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah. Shout out to Lust.
Right, fact. Shout out to Lust, man. A lot of love from Lust to Philly Mike and Lord Brunson. Fly Eagles fly. Love the picks. I agree with both of y'all. Facts. We appreciate you. So what's coming down the pipe for the Eagles? So we got to get ready for week 1. We got to get ready for these roster cuts. I'm pretty sure some practices and some walkthroughs will be happening. You streaming every game this year, right?
Yeah, and
everyone that you can.
Behind the scenes, I'm trying to figure out what we need to figure out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And like I said, cable is it's expensive, and to me it's worthless. Like I said, the only cable I have is hooked up in this room because of, like I said, right now I'm clapping my hands right here. YouTube's gonna show that clap to the public about 8 seconds, 5 seconds, 8 seconds delayed. You know what I mean? And so that's why I did it. And so if we could get, if we can get on the same wavelength, because we would have to be on the same. We got to watch it at the same time. I can't be ahead of you or you be ahead of me.
Through your cable provider.
No, well, I'm local, so I get the local
Oh,
channels and
facts,
I get
facts,
all
facts,
Eagle
facts.
games. I don't got no. I can't just turn on any game upstairs, but downstairs where I have my Fire Stick and I stream stuff, I can watch
Yeah.
anything. But the only reason I even got cable is because if YouTube's already at 8 to 10 seconds delay, at least I'm live cable, so I'm only going to be a
Right.
little bit off the public. I don't want to be telling them about a touch. They're in the. I don't want them to be in the comment section telling me we do a pick
Right.
six
That's why I
while
don't
I'm.
stream. Right. That's why I don't stream as much. That's why I didn't do it at all last year, because I would be behind like 2 plays. And, I know it was annoying for them, and it would be still hundreds of people there. And I'm like, I don't even want to put y'all through this. You know what I mean? I want to be on time. Like, you know what I mean? So I stopped streaming, man. But once we get on the same wavelength, I'm going to get it together so we can co-stream them joints.
Shout out to
Facts.
Philly for life.
Oh yeah, shout out to Philly for life. Did we pay Strong that much so other teams won't want to pick him up for that much? Is that how the waiver wire and go? Sure, I'm not sure. I don't. So Strong's money was fully guaranteed.
I think all the UDFA's money is, I think, guaranteed. Don't quote me on that, but
Yeah.
I don't know how all that fits in. I think if he would get picked up from another team, a new contract will be negotiated. Yeah, but that whole thing is weird to me, for the simple fact that you really went out your way. I think he would have been drafted if he didn't have the knee problem, right?
Right.
So you find him in. He doesn't get drafted. You pay him the most money ever in franchise history, and then he just never plays. To me, like you said, maybe there's some stashness going on. Maybe they want to do this, that, and the third. But I just think that the way we treated preseason, the amount of how deep we went with our cornerbacks and our safeties, and we got guys named Tom playing the center position, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have just let him play. I mean, I just didn't
I think they're
understand
trying
that.
to groom him. I really think he's like a long-term project. I think he's a long-term project. I think they're trying to groom him. They're trying to have him just waiting in the wins, getting better, getting stronger. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't feel good about where he's at with his knee. You know what I mean? It could be that as well. And Mario Goodrich, didn't we throw a bag at Mario Goodrich? You know what I mean? He got paid a lot of money too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think he looked horrible so far, during camp or whatever. I think he's another long-term project that they're gonna keep around. So it's real interesting to see what happens right there with those two guys. That's real interesting though.
It is. And Josh Jobe is the one guy that I thought really flashed out of all the young cornerbacks. I think what he was able to do, just, size, athleticism, being around the ball, got a couple good PBUs, got a couple good tackles in open field. So I like Josh Jobe out of Alabama.
Yeah, I like Josh Jobe as well. Josh Jobe, he's always around the ball. He's always around the ball. He's not scared to hit. He's a pretty sound tackler. We need a young guy like that. He kind of reminds me of a faster Rasul Douglas. When Rasul Douglas came in, Rasul Douglas was just a little slower than him. Like they both were alert. They both were, kind of quick to get into the ball, early. But that double move, he had to figure that out, Rasul. And now he's doing okay over there in Green Bay. So yeah, man, I ain't got nothing else, man. We gonna continue to give you guys all the coverage that you need during the course of the week as news come out. The vibes, man. Goat Talk episode 2. You got anything for him, Mike?
Nah, man, just listen. Tune in to Philly Sports Trips. Again,
right.
I will be on the bus, and when in my comment in my description, I always have 2 different links, because the Philly link, if you coming from Philly to Washington, you click that. But I live outside Philly. I live in what they call the ABE, and there's going to be a bus from Allentown going to Washington too. So if you live around me, you take that link, the Allentown link. If you live in Philly, you take the Philly link. And also, we be talking Eagles 24/7 in the Chalkboard app. We have almost 150 plus people in there already. It's only for iPhone users right now. They are working as best as they can to get it for Android. I'm surprised how many people have Android. I'm like, man, but we still got over 150 iPhone users in there. Android users is coming. But listen, every minute or every day, there's a new topic to talk about Eagles wise in there. I'll be in there almost all day, but also people it's just all Eagles news. So join it. It's free, and chop it up with me.
Right, and it's not as censored as Twitter is. Like you could really say whatever you want. Like it's a fun chat. I was in there myself, so yeah, definitely tap in. And yeah, man, we're gonna get with y'all, man. Next week, next Sunday, same place, same time. Goat Talk. We're gonna talk about the week. We're gonna talk about preparation for this Lions game. My guy Dave Dust. Shout out to Dave Dust for the $5 super chat. He said, "Smash that like." You already know, smashing that like. You know what I'm saying? Smashing that like. Get your favorite content creators boosted up in the algorithm. You know what I mean? I'm excited about this, bro. I like banners. You get your family, you get your favorite content creators boosted in the algorithm, so you know the videos can spread all around. Man, thank you guys. You guys have been wonderful. Have a productive Monday. We out.